Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. In today's video I want to talk about Davido's photographer that his life ended. So Davido's personal official photographer, died. Apparently from the news they said he drowned at a photo shoot or something like that. That actually reminds me, there was another time when there was a photo shoot. One of the guys in the photo shoot with Davido, there was a particular kind of a stunt they had to do, but the guy couldn't swim. You could see Davido express fear and all of that. So only God knows exactly what kind of setting that this was, but they said it was he died at a location where they were shooting. So I don't know whether they're shooting videos or shooting pictures or whatever, but anyways, he lost his life. So a lot of things have been coming up because when there's been, I think about maybe 7 or 8 people, if I'm not mistaken, that are his crew members in one way or the other, have died in recent times. I remember I covered the last one as well. Excuse me. So a lot of, the way he has a lot of people that work with him or work for him and stuff like that. So then there's this thing on social media that people are like, there's something not right. How can only Davido, are you the only one? You have to answer questions. How can this person around, people around you are really, departing this world? There must be more to it. There must, this thing is not ordinary hand. Davido, so popular, is sacrificed. Davido is sacrificing them for fame. So Davido is this. Davido's hands are not clean, and all of that thing going on. But at the same time, people have come out to say that this same guy, his name, by the way, is Fortune. This same guy, they said, is not only Davido that he photographs. He's not only Davido's photographer. He does it for other people. But it seems that Davido is who he does the most with, because you can see a lot of pictures of him with Davido in the private jet, and a lot. If you go to his Instagram account, it's mostly pictures of Davido. So, but all of that aside, this mentality of our people, and that's what I want to address, of nothing is ever, empty. What's that? In my language, they say, oh, waka is not ordinary hand. We always, our African, okay, let me speak Nigeria. In Nigeria, we always have this thing that is, we look for the spiritual reason or one other reason why things happen. That things that can just happen because it just happened, but our people will find a way to say, no, it must be, it must be this, it must be that. There was a video I made once which I was saying that if everybody's exit from this world, there's always going to be a story. So happened, or it must be these people, or it must be village people, it must be this. Then is there ever going to be a normal death in our society? Are there ever going to be people that just actually died, that we can say, okay, they died? It's almost like every single person that, departs this world, Nigerians will start cooking up theory and stories, and get my point. What I'm trying to say is that we cannot always look for whatever something behind the exit of somebody. It could be poor planning. Why can't it just be okay? Poor planning. He shouldn't have been close to the water. He shouldn't have done this, and and then people can actually learn from it. Like, okay, that stunt is not necessary, or don't this. I don't know about Nigeria. Like, there are times where you see all these photographers that they are in an environment that there are a lot of obstacles around them. There will be somebody actually holds on to them and guide them so they don't go the wrong way. So what if he was standing too close to the edge and fell, which is just a mistake? You get my point. And that also brings me to this thinking. Because you see, sometimes when you say things, some people think you're trying to say, get rid of our culture, get rid of our tradition, and just import only a white man's mentality or white man's culture. That's not necessarily what it is. Sometimes it's about sitting back and just applying a bit of, sense into stuff. Let's not forget that in Nigeria, there were parts of Nigeria where twins were seen as an abomination, a taboo. That when they were born, they were taken into the forest and dumped and left to die. There was a time when that was a normal practice. Let's not forget that. And then a missionary came by the name Mary Slessor, a white woman, and she saw this and she started educating the people. And she was able taking those twins and taking them into safety and caring for them, looking after them. And she started educating the people to let the people know that they are not a curse. It has now changed in those communities that twins are now a blessing. People are not praying for double. The other time I made a post, I was showing I made a post in my community tab where I was saying, okay, if you had twins, what would you name them? I showed a picture of a twins. At a point I said, if we have triplets, what would you name them? And I saw people claiming it. I claim this for myself in Jesus' name. Some people say, I claim this for my children. And people are claiming twins and triplets and everything. And we forget that there was a time, for example, some parts of Nigeria where twins were seen as a taboo. Mentality changed from thinking that they were taboo to now seeing them as a blessing. Massive shift from one thinking to the other. You get my point? From one thinking to the other. At the same time, you see a lot of our communities in those days when they say, this is the shrine of blah blah, nobody touches it, nobody does this, nobody does that. And then the Christian missionaries came and started telling them that is just stuff you made up. There's nothing in this. And they started showing people, they show people that there's nothing in this. How can you worship something you made with your own hands? It makes no sense. This is what the missionaries brought to the people and said, okay, there is a God that is powerful, that made you. That is who you should worship. You shouldn't be worshiping something you made with your own hands. And that changed mentalities again. I'm just saying, well, not everybody is changed, but that came into effect to the point where people now say, okay, there is a God up there. There is a God the Bible spoke about. And mentalities changed. The same time, they say, if you do this, generational curse, and did all of those things. Our people do that a lot. Generational curse, And you will see that white people or foreigners, I read the video where I was saying, how come it's only in Africa we have generational curse? Well, let me say Nigeria, because I'm just trying to be careful, because I may say it and somebody from Egypt will say, what are you talking about? Somebody from Morocco will be like, what are you talking about? Because I've not been to that part of the world, so I don't know. I'm just saying, for example, in Nigeria, we talk about generational curse. Or people will say, if you don't do this, you no go curse your generations unborn. And we forget that Bible tells us that, how do I say it now? Like everything, God will judge you as an individual. I have asked, why is it that you come to this part of the world where we believe in all these mysterious things, we believe in all this whatever? We tend to be the countries that are the so-called developing, or some people would say underdeveloped or not developed, whatever part of the world. And you see those people that don't believe in all this, generational curse and spiritualism behind every single thing. You're walking out of your front door. Yesterday, you peeled okra. You left the skin on the floor and you didn't touch it. You left it there. You forgot to throw it in the bin. Tomorrow, you're walking past and you sleep on it. My village people. Common sense, you put something there, you sleep on it, you're shouting your village people. You see that. Going back to what I was saying, how come that those people that don't have this kind of mentality, that society seems to be doing so well, they are inventing amazing things, inventing whatever, going to the moon, and inventing so many things in those parts of the world, while our part of the world where we are putting things down on our ancestors that have died since. We blame ancestors for this. Ancestors, what they call it now? Whatever, ancestral curse. And blah, blah. One person will come and say, this is your family. Your forefather did so and so thing on that land. That is why so and so thing is happening. Do you know there was a time when white people came with missionaries, when they came, that communities, out of fear, communities, instead of when they ask for land to build a church and build a school and say, want to build a school for you so we can educate your children. We want to build a school so that we can do this for you, teach your children how to sew. We want to build. The community will give them the land that they are afraid of and be like, let's give them that land where evil spirit is. And these missionaries will go and clear that bush, clear that forest where the so-called evil spirits are. Clear it, do everything there. All of a sudden, that place becomes normal. So I'm just coming back to that thing about why can't, I don't know, I'm not saying I know why these people are, people that work with Davido are departing, but what I'm saying is that why can't we ever imagine that, okay, the place was not set up right. He mistakenly slipped and fell into the whatever. He shouldn't have blah, blah, blah. If he was in the boat, for example, maybe he should have had inflatable jacket and stuff like that. Why can't we ever? Because what ends up happening is that when we put everything down to our ancestors or generational curse or Davido has a juju on him or whatever you call it, people don't end up finding the time to learn and prevent things from happening. You will see that, for example, in my workplace, there's something they call workplace hazard. We do incident report. Anything that happens, we report the ones that happened and the ones that almost happened. And the reason why these things are reported and documented is that, okay, This happened to that nurse, it happened to that one, it happened to that one. Okay, there is actually a need to fix this problem. You see what I'm trying to say? We have to develop that mentality of, okay, find the cause of a problem so that we can start looking for the solutions of it. Because when people say it's ancestral, it's juju, is everybody fold their hand and say, nobody thinks about solutions because they are not in our hands. It's not within our hands to find the solution. It's a spiritual thing. I really hope I'm making sense with this. So a lot of those things, our mentalities have to change. Do you know that all those shrines they used to do in a lot of our communities, that they have shrine and all of those things, some white missionaries that took some of those things as souvenirs and took it to their countries. Took it to their countries as souvenirs. They are still, nothing happened to them. You get my point? My main point is this: let's start changing our mentality so that we can begin to develop a bit. It's keeping us so much behind. We leave everything into the hands of the spiritual. Everything. I'm not saying, like, when you talk about spiritual, I believe in prayers. I believe in a God that answers prayers. But then he gave us this same brain that these other people are using to do all these amazing things they are doing. The doctors and nurses and all the whatever that are there creating things to extend people's lives. It's God that created them and created their brains. But some of us then say it's spiritual. We only stay and pray. We don't do the physical, things that can be done to bring a change. My video is kind of jumbled, but I really hope I'm making my point. Anyways, I saw that, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. The way people say, Davido, no let you one. There is something. First thing came to my mind that, why can't we ever think the other way? Anyway, when I saw that, that was what came to my mind, and I just said, let me come here and sit down and make a video about it. As always, that is how I feel about it. Whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.